Well, our next member of the 2016 class never worked under the bright lights of Hollywood. He didn't build any ballparks, but he still managed to cast a long and influential shadow across the Cactus League. As a kid, this man grew up selling programs at Mesa's Rendezvous Park and watching the cars in the players' parking lot. He served on Governor Rose Moffort's committee to save the league, was president of the association, and worked around the clock to win voter approval for a new Cubs ballpark in 2010. His favorite team, of course, was the Chicago Cubs, and his favorite player was a prospect named Ken Hubbs. Why Hubbs? Well, I asked him that once, and he said Ken Hubbs gave him a baseball when he was a kid. And that's the kind of guy our next honoree was. He was kind, generous, honest, and loyal. Few of us here knew Gene Autry or Del Webb, but almost everyone here knew Robert Brinton. His untimely passing left us all stunned and deeply saddened. Now, I cannot tell you how truly honored we are to bring Robert Brinton into the Cactus League Hall of Fame and to invite his wife to accept the award on his behalf. I hope that you will give a big welcome to Nanette Brinton.
I think I might lose $100. I had my son say, "Mom, you're not going to get through this without crying." I said, "I bet you $100 I will." Our family is deeply honored by this award. Robert is the last person on earth that would want it. And there's a lot of fame and glory that goes with baseball, but Robert never sought for any attention. He loved working behind the scenes, and if he were here today, he would be the one helping Robert Johnson come up with some wonderful name to be presented to today. But Robert gave his life, his heart and soul to the Cactus League. He loved baseball, even though he wasn't a real athlete himself. He loved serving, and it brought so much joy to him. He loved people, and he got along with people immensely. I got a letter after Robert passed away about 4.5 years ago from Tom Ricketts, the owner of the Cubs, that said that Robert's passing, ironically, came 4 days after Mesa signed the Cubs to stay in Mesa. And Tom Ricketts said, "If it weren't for Robert, we wouldn't have stayed." That's what kind of guy he was, and I love him. I have been blessed to be with him for many years. We were married for 36 years and have a wonderful family of 7 children, and we are now expecting in 2 weeks our 22nd grandchild. So he has quite a legacy. I love the community in which he helped build. It was an ironic, I'll just share one interesting story. When we were up at our cabin near Flagstaff, and we came across a friend of his who he worked with from High Ground. It wasn't Robert Johnson, it was another friend, and he said, "So did Robert tell you about his news?" And I said, "What news?" And he said, "Well, he was just made president of the Cactus League." And I looked at Robert and I said, "Robert, how come you never told me this?" And it wasn't that Robert and I didn't talk. We talked about everything. But when he walked through the doors of our house, it was our kids' ball games and activities and things in church and yard. We live on an acre, and so it was a lot of mowing and edging. And so when I saw Robert, I saw him in his jeans and his Hawaiian shirt out with a weed eater edging our yard. And I have missed that, let me tell you, for the last 4 years doing it myself. But I love him. He's a great guy, and he gave his all to help the Cactus League be what it is today. His dream before he passed away was that the Cactus League would have 16 teams, which would be one more than the Grapefruit League. So I hope someone will make that happen, and that Arizona will be the strong leader in spring training. Thank you.